You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us.
What's your name?
My name? I was getting there.
Oh.
It's the end of the summer. I'm like spun out. My name's Jackie Paget-Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
We're the co-developers, co-creators. We are the developers. We are it. Flush Your Fat for Good, Be Lean and Healthy for Life. And this is not a diet. I know I say that all the time, but so many people come to me and say, I want to know more about your diet.
Right.
It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. And that means you learn how to care for yourself. There's an app right now that they show you on TV. It's called Noom.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, and it's behavioral modification. But, it's kind of hard to do behavioral modification if you don't know how to feed yourself. And if you wind up feeding yourself inappropriately, you can really create a lot of problems. I think it's great that they're trying to help people.
Yeah, and I like that the people in the commercial are not like, bikini beach bunnies,
right,
the South Beach diet.
Mm-hmm.
And, but you really, I don't know what they do with that. I mean, I haven't checked it out, but what we do is we give you the education you need to become the most up-to-date, knowledgeable about real nutrition. I mean, when you guys take our lifestyle and get on it and stay on it, you're going to know more about nutrition than 3 miles square in your town. No, I'm just it's just
you're going to learn
the
more.
Education.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to know. Most people that I know say, "Oh gosh, I wish I knew more about nutrition." Well, that's what we do. We have our book,
Mm-hmm.
which is on Amazon, and you can go to our website, fleshyourfatforgood.com. And we really teach you in this book. And as you get into the lifestyle, we're always in the room, Flush Your Fat for Good, Private Buddies Facebook group. And just request to join, and someone will let you in,
This video is actually, this podcast is being shown in our room right now.
Right.
So shout out to all you guys.
Hi,
I
buddies.
just saw that Lori Loest, Coach Lori, has joined us. And
Hi, Lori.
we adore her. So
She's one of our pioneers.
Yeah. But the thing is, what happens is people, there's so much out there, like propaganda, low fat, no fat, low sugar, no sugar, artificial sweeteners, all different kinds of things. You eat a whole bunch of grains, one day, and then you eat meat, then you only eat meat. There's so much stuff out there that when you try to do behavioral modification, you're improving your life by cutting back your sugar and your junk food, things like this. But what Flush Your Fat for Good is all about is based on biochemistry and physiology, because the first part of our lifestyle, it has 2 phases in it. We're going to go into our workbook today. But the people that knew nothing about nutrition or a little bit or thought they knew a lot,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to show you some before and after pictures. We always have before and after pictures with us that we love to share with people. And the first picture we want to share is Wendy. This is a gal who knew a lot about supplementation,
Yeah, she's
and
an expert.
nutriments and things like that. But just because you're supplementing doesn't mean that you're feeding yourself appropriately, okay? And really, you want to feed yourself to where your fat is just melting off you to begin with, so you can get on with it. You want your fat off like yesterday.
Yeah, and originally, we were born to eat off the land and get everything we need. But
Right.
as we know, everything's deficient now, so we have to supplement.
The thing that's cool about Wendy, she wrote, and you can see this on our website.
Yes.
It's in the before and afters. But she said in January, when she started Flush Your Fat for Good, she was wearing a size 10 jean. And then she went into the store in April, so that's 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
And she was a size 4.
Whoa, hello.
Okay, come on.
Yes.
That's crazy. All right, the next girl we want to show you is Maha. We love Maha. And
great.
she looks like a beach body girl.
She did after she started this, I'll tell you that. She turned into a beach body.
She did. I'm
Yes,
looking at
she
her right
did.
now. She looks adorable. So these are people that didn't have a clue as to how to feed themselves.
Right.
The next gal is Eva. She's from Canada. And
She's a coach, Coach Eva.
yeah, she's a coach.
I think all these guys were in at least one of our study groups.
Well, what I like is she said, today marks the day, March 14th, a year ago, I decided to do life differently.
Oh.
Okay?
Wow.
Doing life differently.
That's
that
what
means
you have to do.
It's a lifestyle. You're
Yes.
changing a life differently.
A lifestyle.
A lifestyle. The next gal is, she's a dear friend to us
darling.
from many, many years ago. She's a retired deputy sheriff, right?
Or captain. I don't know.
Something. You don't want to mess with
She's
her.
a
I'll tell you
chief
that.
or something.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't mess with her.
Yeah, she's retired though. So
Yeah,
she saves horses.
She's the kitten. She's a kitten now.
And we went up to go visit with her once, and she has stables and horses.
She
and
adopts and takes them in, man. She
rescues, really.
She rescues these horses, yes.
She's a character, but I love her comment. One of my friends posted a picture of me and my mule. I was horrified. Please excuse my language, but my ass was bigger than my ass's ass. God bless you, Melanie. But look at her
she's
now.
so funny, yeah.
And she wasn't great in the kitchen. She says, don't tell anybody, but I'm cooking now.
And that's another good benefit from what we do is we give you easy staples.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the videos on our website. You can go and see Jackie making Jackie's chicken salad and all the other goodies, the lattes.
And trust me, I'm not a cook. I had to figure out how to do this.
But she did,
I
too.
will tell you why.
She learned how to do it, too.
Yeah. The next gal is Talitha.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think this isn't for guys. It's just that the last, the things that I picked off the website were all girls.
Yeah.
Talitha, Talitha says, I know some of the calls, and we have calls every Wednesday with Power 100 heroes and things like this. But she wanted everybody to know that there's younger folks doing this as well in their 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. And Talitha is rocking it with that body. And then there's Patty.
Coach Patty.
Coach Patty. She lost 70 pounds and 64 inches, but her health was so severe.
Very bad. She was spiraling down. She couldn't get control of it.
And you know what?
Even though she was supplementing,
this is the usual thing we hear all the time. I've been a lifetime member with a weight loss group.
Yep.
And I've seen my weight go up and down and up and down. Mm-hmm. So until she did this, you can go and read about it.
She's our queen of PPPPP.
Yep. Proper planning prevents poor performance.
And you can see her refrigerator if you go in the search box in the room and type in Patty Jensen. You'll see her. She has a picture of her refrigerator.
Yeah.
How she compartmentalizes all the food so she doesn't have to
think.
She just goes when she's hungry or...
She said, over the past 14 years, I have had several orthopedic surgeries dealing with chronic pain and depression, because we all know, if you've watched our podcast, that being over fat will lead to depression.
Yes.
That could lead. That caused me to be inactive, sedentary, and gain more weight. I feel like a new person now. I have more energy, not needing an afternoon nap. I sleep better. I'm able to exercise daily. I've gone off 2 of my 3 high blood pressure medications, and my lab tests are looking better and better every day. I finally have found a lifestyle that is simple, healthy, and is transforming my life.
She said our cardiologist dismissed her as a patient.
Right. So she said, and we have some people on watching us. Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Shout out to Coach Jennifer if she's on there. So if you guys have any questions, we're going to be looking at this every once in a while. So what happened was I was one of these people.
What happened?
Yeah, what the hell happened? I was one of these people. There was a tragedy in my life, and we all know that stress can put on a lot of weight.
Yes.
But mine went on for a long period of time.
Years.
Yeah, trying to save a family member.
Yep.
And when the time actually came that I was in a place, and you can read it all about in our book. By the way, that's on Amazon as well, so you can look for that on Amazon. But we'll tell you about it in our website. We have a starter kit that involves that book, so we'll talk about that later. But I was so stressed out and so horrified, and it was right after my husband died, and then I had a family member that I had to really dig in and save. Well, at that point, when I finally got to the place where she was safe, then I fell asleep that night, and I got a great night's sleep, first time in years. And when I woke up and I walked into the bathroom where the mirror is, and I looked at myself and I went, oh, hell no. What? I mean, I took a look at myself and I went, that's not me. What, you know, and
Who
now.
is that?
It was awkward.
It was like, who is that in the mirror?
So
Suddenly you put glasses on.
Yeah.
You were able to see yourself.
Right.
Where before you were in the tornado of the stress and the concern and the worry.
It was a whirlwind, and I
Yes.
really didn't pay any attention to myself.
No.
And
couldn't see
I've
yourself.
always been into health. I've
Yeah.
always been into great supplementation. But you know what? When you're in a place like fight or flight, you're
Right.
eating erratic, you're eating or not eating.
You're not digesting.
Right. And when people say, I
Period.
don't know why I'm gaining, I don't eat. Well, that's your number one thing. If you don't eat, you gain weight. So when the time came, I mean, that was the time, okay? And I started walking around the house in a panic. This is the God's honest truth. Because I was always a dancer, I was a musician, I always loved fashion and liked
She was
to
a rock
wear-
star too.
I like to rock it a little bit. And
She has this picture in her house with her guitar, and she's like, you know, this thin.
no, but I mean, I
And
was,
shapely and
yeah, I was doing
with
the thing.
attitude. So when I met her, she was pregnant, but she got slimmed down right away.
She was
after
my
that.
doctor during my
Yeah.
pregnancy. So
C's.
pregnancies, yeah. So
Trust me, I'm still alive to talk about it.
that's another book. But I walked around and I really went into prayer.
Yeah.
I mean, I was.
Thanks,
You know,
gratitude.
it's one of those moments where you go, oh, Lord. When people say, oh, God, oh, Lord, you know what? That's the moment of you.
reality.
It's
It's a reality.
self-reflection. You know,
Yeah.
you're going deep inside. Nobody was in my house. I was like, had nobody. What am I going to talk to the couch? I had to talk to somebody. So I decided, you know, I got to talk to the Lord right now. I got to say, God, I need some help here. And I'm walking from room to room, really troubled, because I was like 45, 50 pounds overweight. And how did that happen?
That was
It was horrible.
Horrible.
And because I would just throw on the same outfit all the time. I didn't have time. I had to run out. I had to go this. I had to do this. I had to blah, blah, blah. So finally, I'm in the kitchen and I'm thinking, okay, it's morning. I got to eat something. And I opened up the pantry and I just stood there and I said, what am I going to do? Because this weight has to get off like yesterday. And just then, a voice came in my ear. And it said, Jackie. Honest to God. Just like that. Jackie, you know what to do. You've known all along.
Ooh. Is it Halloween already?
No, this was the Lord.
I
And,
know. Sorry, Lord.
So bless me for that. I didn't ask any questions at that point because really what I did was I looked around to see who was in my kitchen. It was that weird. But it was really the message of the answer to what I needed. And I turned around and almost like a robot, but automatic, I started doing.
Wait a minute. Wasn't it downloaded?
Yeah, it was downloaded.
How long did it take?
Not long. I mean, right then.
Seconds, probably.
Well, it was like, you know what to do. You've known all along.
But I thought you
But
got
right
every
at that
detail.
point, it was like the whole thing was downloaded. Everything in this workbook, which we're going to go through, this is the picture of our workbook. Everything was downloaded into my head, and I turned around.
That's a lot of information.
It was bada bing, bada bing. And,
Wow.
and brrr, like this. And I just immediately started going about my business doing exactly the blueprint of what Flush Your Fat for Good is all about. How am I going to get this fat off like now? How am I going to keep going and not have it come back? How am I not going to be hungry? How am I not going to be craving? How am I not going to be tired? How am I not going to,
Be bloated.
but stay consistent?
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I just turned around in the kitchen and said, boom, I know exactly what to do. And I started doing it. So we tried to get Kathy Costolazzo on the line today, but she's a mad woman with her business.
It was not called Flush Your Fat for Good. It was just Jackie's, messages to her brain as to what she's supposed to be doing. So she just did what she heard. I
Well,
knew nothing about it.
The bottom line is I didn't have it written down.
No, but I
okay?
knew nothing about it.
Right. She knew nothing about it.
I didn't know anything
And
about.
Kathy Costolazzo, who has Bear Wraps. She has a beautiful place in Westlake, California. She does lymphatic body wrapping. She gets people ready for the red carpet, celebrities.
She
and things like
detoxes
that.
people and stuff.
Yeah, she has quite a little business. And so she's a friend of ours. But she came over to the house and she saw me like 2 weeks prior to that. And she looked at me and she goes, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And I was like, "The dishes." And she goes, "No, what are you doing? Look at your body. I mean, what happened here?" And I told her, I said, "Oh, I have this plan." She goes, "Well, I want you to come in." And I said, "No, what I'm doing right now is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing." And I continued till 2 weeks later. She showed up and she goes, "Okay, that's it. You got to put it on paper." And I said, "No, I can't do that. This was downloaded into my brain. This is a lot of detail. And I don't want to do that." She goes, "No, I need it for my clients." So, short of putting a 45 to my head, I decided to sit down and do a, what do you call it?
Website.
No.
Workbook?
PDF, a PDF.
Oh,
I
a
just
document.
Did a
Just like
document,
a
yeah. I wrote
bullet-
it down
bullet.
and I said, "Now do this, have your clients do this,
Uh-huh.
and see what happens." So it was like amazing. She goes, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. My clients are going crazy. Their fat is melting off them. They're feeling better than ever. They're people that are on meds and their vital signs are all improving. You have to put this on a website." And I said, "I'm not doing that. I don't do that. That's too much work." But, this girl's like 5'1" and she's Italian and full of piss and vinegar.
And from Spain. Spanish.
Yeah,
Italian.
she's like strong. And so 2 weeks later, I had it on a website. So I talked to Dr. Vicky and I said, "You know what? I have it down on a PDF and I have the guidelines." And, we played around with the name because you're flush and you're fat. And we had a couple of names set up for it. But we decided to settle on Flush Your Fat for Good. For good
Get rid of it.
riddance, for the good of your life, your health, your loved ones. And then we decided, Dr. Vicky and I decided we were going to do a study group. First, we had to find people that would be consistent for a 12-week study. And we followed them every week to see what was going on.
On the phone. We had weekly calls. and
Because they were all
reported
over the country.
Yeah.
I think we had some in Canada, so we
Yes,
had a
we
couple
did.
of other.
We did.
And then at that point, at the end of that, we
Well,
were
you
like,
had to make this first.
Yeah,
Because they had to
yeah.
have that.
I put
She
together.
did the PDF,
Yeah.
and then that wasn't enough.
No,
so
so then I had to put together the workbook.
she wrote the workbook.
Yeah. So then,
So this was
so
the
that
first.
they could have it,
Yeah.
they had to have it and follow it, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, we had such phenomenal results with them, we decided to double up and see if we could do that study again. And we had, again, up to 12 weeks. with about 20 people, 18, 20, 24, I can't remember at that point. But the same thing. And these were people that thought they knew about healthy eating, thought they knew about nutrition, thought they knew about supplementation, and yet all of their lives changed. Some of these people, you can see them on our website on before and afters. Go to FlyashYourFat4Good, the number 4, good.com, and you'll see before and afters. And you'll see these people that their lives were changed. So we decided to open it up to the public. So now we have this workbook.
So this was written like almost 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
or 5, right? First study group had
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just wrote this recently to expand upon for people who were doing it, getting results. They wanted to know why, and this is like our reference book. So if any books follow this on certain subjects in this lifestyle, this will be our textbook, and we'll probably revise it as we go along with new information or things we learn, because we're learning all the time.
So the workbook, and I'm seeing Morgan here, and Coach Jennifer is replying to him. He wants to know what to eat. Well, in the workbook, it tells you what to eat, how to eat it, and when to eat it, because it's all based on biochemistry and physiology. And we're going to just open it up to a couple of pages here.
Yeah, we're going to skim through the workbook to give you an idea of how effective it is as a kitchen Bible. A lot of people tear these out and put them in protective sheets, or they just simply keep it on the kitchen table. And so that's quick reference until you get it. Once you get it, it's like riding a bike.
Or you can digital download.
Yes, you can digital.
And if you do that, you can print it off,
put
too.
it on your look at it on your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you get the workbook, I mean, it's only 44 pages.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not much at all.
It's
but
very-
it's the blueprint. And
yeah.
on page 8, it's the science behind Flush Your Fat for Good. And the science is all about biochemistry and physiology and how your foods work with your body, your God-given body. You know, how you were made.
Right.
So how you digest, absorb, and eliminate. That is the key. Nobody else talks about this.
No.
It's all about digestion, and that's the message that came to me. Because
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is about digestion, absorption. You heard that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah. I guess I didn't
See?
tell you.
No.
But that's the whole thing was based on you eat, you have to digest, and then you have to eliminate. And these are the pipes of life.
Right.
So if you're working on living long, feeling good, having abundance of energy, sleeping deep, thinking sharp, having a better mood, and digesting, absorbing, and elimination without bloating, if you want safe, rapid fat loss, you have to have optimal digestion, absorption, and elimination. So when you get the workbook, we talk about accelerated fat burning state, which we call AFBS, but it's really
Nutritional ketosis.
right. And we have 8 pillars. That's what was really downloaded as to what you have to do in order to make this successful and to never have to struggle again for the rest of your life. Why, in God's name, do you want to keep yo-yoing? Why do you want to lose the weight,
Well,
however you're doing it, and then after the event, you gain it all back? That's
the
torture.
essence or the mission or the result that you will get with our lifestyle is digestion. Your digestion will dramatically improve. Your absorption will dramatically improve, and you will eliminate. And you know what? The body does the rest. If you have that going on in your body, everything gets repaired, everything gets regenerated, everything, you get better copies of cells. Your skin every tissue is going to get better because you're absorbing and you're digesting and eliminating the waste. So that's really the key.
Right. Which also, by the way, makes you have a sharper mind. Because healthy
everything.
body, healthy mind. So when you get on page 8, pay attention to the pillars.
Right.
Because the 8 essential pillars, we call them, is the foundation for a strong lifestyle. And you never go wrong. It's okay, it's different, but it's not difficult. If you've ever learned how to drive a stick shift, that's difficult. But after a while, if you learn it, then it's like riding a bike. You can do it for the rest of your life. Even if I haven't driven a stick shift in ages.
I drove your son's truck.
Yeah, but I mean, I
And the
have
Mazda,
But
which
not
is-
too long ago, I had to get into a stick shift.
Yes.
I could do it. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
need a
you-
clutch.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
blah,
no
blah, blah.
big- no
So
big deal.
the pillars.
Well, do you want to talk about day of exhaustion first?
We can, if you.
Or day of energy for some?
We'll briefly go over that.
Yeah, because it's
Because you'll
mentioned
read
over
about
here.
this in the book. But the accelerated fat burning state is when you go into nutritional ketosis. And you will learn about that with our pillars. Because the pillars are nutritional ketosis is what you're put into first by eating the way we tell you. And that is you're living off your own fat for energy, for fuel. You're not feeding your body foods that are going to give you energy.
Right. Your energy, your best energy comes from burning your fat.
Premium.
That's how we were
Right.
designed.
So when that happens,
Mm-hmm.
eventually, sometimes it happens in 3 or 4 days, sometimes it happens in 2 weeks.
And then it could happen after that, like a month later. you get the-
Depending on if you're
depending on the layers or the congestion in your liver.
for
the fat.
and other reasons, because
Yes.
your toxins harbor in your fat cells.
Right.
When you start to lose your fat, it breaks open.
Mm-hmm.
The toxins come out and have to filter through your liver. There's different things. When you have cycles of fat burning, sometimes you can feel that. People
Yes.
that are like, we deal with Power 100 heroes that are 100 plus pounds, we go through that with them because they think they're going into what's it called when you slow down?
Hypothyroid.
No.
No?
When you're
Anemic.
No. When you're in a slowdown period and you think you're not-
Plateau.
yeah. When you're in a plateau.
Sounds like
Yeah. 3 syllables.
cattail.
When they think they've gone into a plateau, they're really not in a plateau. To a degree, maybe they're not losing as much
Yeah.
fat. However, there's other things that are taking place because the immune system prioritizes itself. See, weight loss companies and weight loss programs and things like that, they don't teach you this, they don't tell you this.
It's healthy.
It's about health.
Yeah.
So if you're in a plateau, you're really not. Your immune system is prioritizing, number one. Number two, however much weight you just lost, your body has to adjust to that size. It has to, the veins have to come out and disintegrate and be your tissue.
And the body only accepts subtle changes. You can't expect to go, drop 20 pounds in a month and then, or 40 pounds in a few months and then expect it to continue.
Right.
The body has to readjust itself and regroup and reassociate itself with the new, smaller body with less vessels, less demand on the heart, increased metabolism, a lot of things probably improving, and the brain has to reassess. So sometimes you go into a plateau.
I like what Coach Lori just said. This is the best lifestyle for people who have a fast-paced life like me. Never home. And she's never
there
home.
you go.
I know. Thank you,
A lot of
Lori.
people say no. It's
So the DOE is day of exhaustion.
Right.
Some people have day of energy.
Yes.
Because their whole life they've been tired, they're exhausted, they've been battling the bulge for a long time. But most people, when they get started on this, within, like I said, 72 hours, could be a week, a couple weeks, all of a sudden you're going to be on the couch and you're going to go, oh my God, I can't get off the couch. What is happening? That is your body switching over into nutritional ketosis, where your body says, okay, look, I get it. You're not throwing down crackers and noodles and cookies and an energy bar, whatever. You're not throwing down sugar. And I have no energy here. I have nothing to burn. What are you going to do? So the body's going to say, I'm going to look around your body and see what I can burn because I got to get some up and
Now that the
going.
free stuff's not here, I guess I got to go to work and burn the fat.
So that's the
That's what's
moment
going on.
when all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm like holding down the couch. Well, at that point, it's
like,
maybe
yay!
a day or two. We always jump for joy.
Yeah,
when
we're
that
like,
happens.
yay, congratulations.
It doesn't last long.
No.
But after that, you're like, bam.
You're in high gear, man.
Yep. So the 8 pillars, you'll read about them.
Yep.
And then you continue on the next page is page 9, and we talk about recommended nutritional supplements. You have to supplement. Even if you're eating the best.
Even if you're not on this, you have to supplement.
Yeah, regardless. I mean, JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, said you have to supplement.
Yes.
But the reason being for safe, rapid fat loss is that you have to support all parts of your body while you're losing safe, rapid fat loss.
Right.
And so many people, when they're dieting, that's when they get tired. Their toxins harbor in their, through the filtration system, like your liver.
Right.
Your liver gets congested. You can't go to the bathroom. You're exhausted, and you go, forget this. Let's go out for pizza. So, but supplementation, even if you're eating organic foods, even if you're eating, if you're not getting vine-ripened foods, which fruits and vegetables, most people don't, and you have to go to the farmer's market. Yeah.
Or have your own orchard or
but
garden.
Still, because the commercial farms or organic farmers, they have to pick green.
Yeah,
because they have to get it to market.
Yeah, you can't have it right off the vine, right? Because it wouldn't last an hour.
No.
Or two.
In
a truck.
you're paying top dollar, and it lasts 2 days, and you have to eat a bushel.
So we have
page 9 is recommended.
We have supplements.
Yeah, so we've got the vitamins and mineral. We have glyconutrients, which is highly essential. Glyconutrients. Not everybody knows about glyconutritionals. Everybody needs to know about them because they sit on the edge of the cells, and they assist in cell-to-cell communication, cell-to-cell recognition. Have to have that. You want them to recognize the nutrients and bring it in. You want them to recognize virus, bacteria, all different kinds of things to make sure even your hormones get regulated. Antioxidants. When you have toxins coming out of your fat cells, you want to make sure those toxins don't hurt your good cells. So you want to make sure you protect that. Hormone support. Everybody needs a hormonal support, and we talk about it in this book. You can find all of this on Amazon or look for really good, established, quality, high standard companies that have what we're talking about here. Digestive enzymes, probiotics. We call it muscle building, fat burning powder, which is really branched chain amino acids. And you want those BCAAs, which is isoleucine, leucine, and valine. And gamma-linolenic acid, which is...
you want them from a food source because you can get them from feathers, too.
Yeah, you don't want that.
They have them from beans, which would be okay for phase 2, but for phase 1...
basically, when you look for BCAAs, they're structured peptides.
You want the peptides.
So GLA and CLA, these are essential for losing fat and many, many other things. So now, when
we have our own. They're right there.
Yeah.
And they're very high quality.
You can find our
Anywhere,
GLA and CLA on our website.
Yes.
And we're going to go real quickly through phase 1, which is in the book. It tells you how to get a kickstart going, where you go into your closets, your pantries, anywhere where you have
That's the first
your
step.
Foods, and throw them out.
Clean out all that
If
garbage.
they have
your freezer, refrigerator,
sugar,
throw it
partially
away.
Hydrogenated oils, artificial sweeteners.
The salad dressings all pretty much have corn syrup or sugar in them. You just got to read the label and get rid of your stuff.
So once that happens, then the next page on page 13 is list to-do items to get started. And this is all the things that you need to, it's one page, it's not a big deal. But we want you to get certain things that you will bring into your kitchen after you threw everything out.
Right.
Okay, so including coffee. Coffee is essential unless it's a religious issue that you can't drink coffee. But medium roast, dark roast, however, it has to be organic.
What's funny is when we started this 4 years ago and we said coffee's mandatory. Coffee? I mean, we got so much static about coffee.
Yeah.
And then we looked for the studies and the and the latest information out there, and as you all know, I mean, I just read the other day that not JAMA, but one of these medical journals recommend 5 cups of coffee a day to prolong your life. But you know what? There's a caveat. You cannot have the pesticide-rich coffee. You have to have the organic coffee because it is one of the highest, and no one talks about it. It's one of the highest sprayed crops on the planet. And for those of you that get kind of nauseous
or
headache or hyped, I get hyped on it if I do a Starbucks. It's not organic, and
I
that's
used to
the
be
reason.
addicted to that.
And in my practice, I used to test people on organic versus regular because they're like, oh, I was told I shouldn't. I went to this so-and-so and they said I shouldn't have coffee. I says, let me test the organic because I drink coffee. I have to have it.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why, and we talk about it in the book, and it's really essential
in the
for
room
your
all the time.
overall health, but especially fat loss.
I even saw Dr. Oz talking about how you need at least 3 cups of coffee a day.
Well, and that goes to back up what I said in the beginning of this podcast, that people try to do behavioral modification, but they have been told for so long coffee's bad for them.
Oh,
and then
still.
then they get off of it, right? And then we start them on our lifestyle and we go, okay, it's mandatory that you have up to 1 to 3 cups of coffee. What? Now I don't like coffee. So now they have to learn to like it again, which the way we make it, you love it. So,
and we have them do a little tiny bit. Some people have never, ever had coffee ever in their lives, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've never had coffee," and they're in their 50s, and it's like
we have to start in baby steps.
We do like a quarter of a cup or a third of a cup, and we inch them up. But then they learn. Very good.
It's very easy.
Very easy.
And you just see, no, you can't have this. Yes, you can have that. And you follow it to a T. This is boot camp.
Yeah.
This is not a joke.
It's all here. And phase 1 is rapid safe fat loss. Okay, you stay in phase 1 until you reach where you want your body to be. And technically, Jackie and I are technically on phase 2, but we eat mostly every day phase 1.
Well, I like it. I feel good on it.
And you feel better on it.
But from time to time, if I want to go to a Mexican restaurant and add starches back into my diet, I know exactly how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, when you finally get all the weight off that you like and you like the way you look, you go into phase 2, which is page 21. Page 21.
We're going into phase 2 already.
Yeah. Because once you follow the rules, and you don't like, well, okay, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to do, maybe Monday to Friday I'll do this, and then
how do you know if you're ready for phase 2?
You like the way you look in the mirror, but naked.
We had people going, oh my goodness.
No, you don't have to
But it's the truth. You get out of the shower.
You know what?
Look in the mirror.
Get out of the shower, or put your undies on, or put an outfit on, and just say, you know what, I can live with this.
This is good. I feel good. This is good.
If you stay on phase 1, you're never going to go into skin and bones.
No.
Because your body won't allow you to do that. The Inuit tribes in Alaska have been eating like phase 1 for centuries?
Thousands of years. Yeah. The Eskimos, are they skinny, mini, welting away? No.
Phase 2.
They eat and are always in nutritional ketosis. So this is a long-term, safe way to eat.
Right.
Phase 1.
Phase 1 is without starches, sugars, cow dairy. Well, we never do cow dairy.
No.
But basically, your starches and sugars are no longer in your life for that moment.
No rice, no pastas.
No cookies,
nothing,
crackers.
Potatoes,
acorn squash. If you see anything that's high glycemic with your starchy vegetables, and we have a list at the back of the book. We have everything here to get you going.
Right.
So, and then when you go into phase 2, and you like the way you're looking, then you go, okay, I think I'm ready for phase 2. That doesn't mean you'd go over to Winchell's Donuts. That means that you read on page 21 how you're going to incorporate your
starches,
but it's going to be high quality, good content, not white flour and sugar.
No.
But we will teach you how to eat your desserts because you're going to live this lifestyle to where if you're at a wedding, if you're at a birthday party, if you want to have a dessert,
Yeah.
we teach you how to do that to where it doesn't affect your weight or your health.
And you won't bloat, and it won't stop your digestion.
So on page 21, it teaches you how to incorporate sprouted whole grains, cereals, breads, anything that you want, such as pasta. And it's teaching you how not to miscombine, because our second pillar is food combining. So when you add the starches back into your life, you're going to know how to eat the starches, the carbohydrates and the starches together. You're going to know how long they're going to digest, which is 2 hours. And you're going to know that you can still go into your proteins and vegetables, but you want those starches to digest first. Because what is this about? Digestion, absorption, and elimination.
Yes.
Speaking of elimination, you should go to the bathroom, have 3 to 4 bowel movements a day.
It's in the textbook of medicine.
Yeah. And how many people go a day? I don't even think I
Yes.
have one.
Like a baby. You know, babies go after they eat.
So when you're on page 21 and you have reached your level to where you want to go on to phase 2, that doesn't mean for the rest of your life you're going to eat like that. Because you might want to go on a week or 2, or when you travel, go back to phase 1.
And you need to pay attention to your brain, because your brain decides. So when you are starting, you're eating your Ezekiel bread for the first time, you want to have maybe one slice, really, 2 max, but you don't want to have 3 or 4. We had some of our
Well, not in the beginning.
They were like, wow, I get to have starch. No, you have to listen to your brain, because you're not going to feel good if you eat more than 1 or 2.
Your brain will tell you, you don't overeat, you don't undereat.
Right.
But if it's good quality grain bread like Ezekiel and Ezekiel gluten-free, and the wraps are really good. Or
The
if you want,
tortillas you talk about. Ezekiel.
Yams, sweet potatoes, all of these things are awesome. And we teach you have to have a fat on those starches so that it slows down the glycemic index.
Right.
It's all about your digestion.
And insulin.
So we teach you that. On
So
page
butter
22,
on your potato.
If you find that you are out of control with your starches, just go back to phase 1 for a little bit.
Hey, you switch off daily if you want. That's what I had to have starch the other day, but I had to have some. I had a veggie sandwich.
Then we have typical days. Typical day on phase 1, and then typical day on phase 2. But also,
it's all in here. You can just.
The one page I love the most, because everybody says, well, how do I do this if I'm going to go out and eat in a restaurant and I don't know if I want I think it
How
might
do you
be
eat
too
in a
much.
restaurant? Yeah.
Well, page 27 shows you miscombined meal examples, okay, and then examples of good meal choices. You can go anywhere
And eat
as
this lifestyle.
long as you know the proper choices.
Correct.
Because the goal is you want to live long and not suffer. You don't want to be bloated and have massive gas all the time. You don't want to be constipated. You don't want to feel bad because you have an event coming up and you can't fit into that outfit. And then you have 3 different size clothes in your closet, all in the color of black and gray. So
You know what makes you feel like you're in love with this lifestyle is when you can go to a Mexican restaurant and you get the chips, the guacamole, the salsa, and then you can have
salads, the grilled veggies,
and
the shot of
the
tequila
beans and
with
rice,
the lime.
beans and rice burrito. Oh my God,
It's great, but that's phase 2.
that's phase 2.
And if you want a little alcohol, then
Yep.
we show you phase 1, no alcohol.
No.
But in phase 2, then, what I like to do is have like a shot of Jose Cuervo or 1800 or whatever. No Padron.
I don't drink, so
No. Not doing that. I don't even know how
she
I
likes her tequila.
I landed up into a bowling alley once, and I don't know how I did that. So, only tequila shots with
I
lime
don't
and
do
a little
tequila.
salt. I like that. Don't
I'm
do
a-
the sweet drinks. You don't want to do the
I'm
sweet
talking to the throne. if I do
Anyway,
tequila.
right. Page 29. For
There's some
vegetarians.
look at these pictures.
Yeah,
Beautiful pictures.
it's a beautiful book. You
It's
got to
a
get this
beautiful
book. vegetarians, vegans, lacto-ovo vegetarians, and pescatarians, pesco-vegetarians. We meet your needs.
You say
okay?
tomato, I say tomato.
But it's all about, if you're not doing meats, we have the answer for you
Yes.
as far as alternative meats.
Right.
And we have the best supplier for the alternative meats
Right.
that you can get online.
We did a podcast with her, Spice of Life,
Yeah.
Spice Williams Crosby. And if you want to look, that was a great podcast.
That was fun.
That was really
you
fun.
can see it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so anyway, this book is got
It's your
recipes in
handbook.
it.
It's easy to transport.
It's a workbook, and you can write in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on our website,
And there's notes. You can put notes in here. And you get
and
these
then
charts. Here's how you
measurements.
measure. And then you have,
All right.
here's your data glance.
So in conclusion, our website is fleshyourfat4good.com.
Number 4.
We have a storefront there with Starter Kit 1, 2, and 3. Starter Kit 1 has both the books, all the charts, and the CLA GLA.
Bargain.
Yeah, a bargain. Oh, and by the way, you get 1 month free of the VIP, so you can see all 23 of the videos that we made, teaching you how to make food, answering questions.
That's a great way to get started.
And over 100 audios that we did with
our coaching calls over the years.
And you can hear us troubleshooting, and you'll see all the subject
Before
matter.
podcasts.
So if you have any subject matter that you're interested in, you'll hear it in one of those.
Yeah.
Then we have a coaching course in which you don't have to be a coach to take it, but it makes you extremely educated in what we're all talking about here, why this lifestyle works, biochemistry and physiology at its finest for the lay person.
And it's physiology and biochemistry. It's very, very, it's all more clinical application also, but it has different things that are in this book. And the greatest thing that happened was that we are now affiliated with the health and wellness coach program, A Wellness Revolution, and they are using our coaching series, coaching program, online coaching program, for their method or their way to handle weight management, because they go over it and they go over the physiology, they go in depth, but not like the
and they're
the
ICF,
how-tos.
which means they're internationally coached federation, is it?
International Coaching Federation certified, which you have to really, really be up to stringent guidelines for that and qualifications. So we're excited. We're in the Netherlands now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which
we were anyway. But
so don't forget our Facebook page. Come and join us. Ask to join. And you have to answer a few little questions, but that's it. We'll let you in.
I'd appreciate the questions being answered. Be truthful. It doesn't matter. As long as you answer, I know you're participating and you're,
and it's a family situation.
Yes.
It's a culture of
Safe.
caring, and it's private. So if you have any questions, we also have 3 coaches that are available for hire. And if you just go to one-on-one coaches.
For consultation.
And they will help you through the whole month. And it's amazing, these
hire.
girls. For hire. Gun for
For
hire.
hire.
They have a whip. And then, So, anyway, we want to thank you guys for
Thanks
joining
so
us.
much.
Until next week, God bless. Bye.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.